What's up, everybody? Hey, our stream is starting now. Hi, how you doing? Happy Friday. Welcome to the Local Marketing Institute Q&A Live on April 25th, 2025. What's up, Steve? How's it going, buddy? All right, next slide, please. Myself, Ben Fisher, steady demand. The whole blue sky address right there. We're no longer talking about Twitter, X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Excuse my French. No, don't excuse it. Anyway, and my wonderful co-host, Greg Gifford from Search Lab Digital.
I'm finally back.
Dude, how long has it been? Like
I think it's been a couple of months, man. Like my travel schedule has been stupid lately.
Oh, yeah, it really, really has. But the good news is that Greg is going to be with us at least through September.
Yeah.
Right? You're done.
I am. Well, I mean, I've got something next week, but we don't have an episode next week. So, yeah.
Right. Correct.
I'll be around.
Yeah. You know, actually, we need to update that picture. I don't have glasses anymore, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your hair's longer than that one, too.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Whatever. Be it that way. All right. And join us on Facebook, Local Marketing Institute Connect, where we engage every once in a while, but we have a thriving community of people that are there to answer your questions. And if you have any problems, of course, please feel free to go ahead and let them out. And oh, yeah, we're 2.6 thousand members. Yes. And finally, find us on the local. If you want Greg and I in your ear at any time, any day, in the car, in the shower, it doesn't really matter. You can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. I still question iHeartRadio, by the way, Greg.
You know, actually, a lot of people listen to podcasts there, though.
Really? On iHeartRadio?
Yeah, no, it's like a pretty big spot.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, cool. Right on. Well, all right. With that being said, hey, what's up, buddy? Missed you.
I'm happy to be back, my friend. Like, it was a lot to be gone for that long. Like, I really miss doing this.
Dude, all I can say is that fucking crazy is what that is. I'm just saying, you know, the amount of travel that you do.
Yeah, so I was in Germany for SMX Munich, and that was like a month and a half ago. So gone for a whole week, took the wife and kids because it was their spring break. Came back from that on a Sunday. The next Friday, left for a 4-day trip to Vegas because my oldest turned 21, so we took him to Vegas. So just getting over the jet lag from Europe, go to Vegas, and you know you're not sleeping in Vegas, so then it was even worse. Came home on what day did I get home? I got home on Monday from that, and then left the following Sunday to go to Brighton SEO. Then I was in Brighton SEO for a whole week, get home from that on Sunday, and then had to leave Tuesday morning to go to Boston for our quarterly planning meeting. So I had two nights in my own bed, but one night I got almost no sleep because that Monday, my freaking dog got electrocuted.
What?
Yeah, she was like playing with a rope bone near an extension cord and somehow got the cord caught up and like got electrocuted. My wife caught it real fast and ripped the cord out, but we took her to the vet because you have to, because like it turns out they'll be fine and then just turn around and drop dead like 3 hours later. So take him to the emergency vet, get an x-ray, find out she's got fluid in her lung, which is one of the really scary things that can happen. So I had to wake up every 2 hours that Monday night to check her breathing and make sure she was breathing okay. But then we also have this 12-year-old Chihuahua that sleeps in bed with us that's very grunty. So every time she would turn over, she would go, and it would wake me up that it was the other dog. So I got like zero sleep. So I was jet-lagged as hell. Then I'm in Boston, and then it was,
Oh, dude, not at all. No. No sleep,
it was a
then
lot.
jet lag, and continue. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And then I've had all this week, but this entire week has been a mad rush because I'm doing another training course for the Bright Local Academy. And so I had to finish that script because I was supposed to have that script done at the end of February, and clearly I'm a little late on it.
Just a little bit.
So I had to get that finished up, and then I had to do my presentation for Mike King's conference next week, and it's a cool venue, and I was going to be really ambitious with what I was doing because they have like projection mapping. So like you've got motion graphics on the side walls and stuff with all this thing. And I was going to do crazy stuff like having my not so evil twin pop up in the back of the room on the wall and echo me from the audience. But I ended up not getting I didn't have enough time to do it in 1 week. So I had to kind of scale back a little bit. I will still be heckling myself, but it will be from within the slides. But I bought 400 pairs of 3D glasses, and I'm making, because the presentation is the 3 dimensions of local search, because it's content,
God.
reviews, and GDP. And I'm literally like, I have probably, I don't know, I'm not a tab hoarder, but I probably have about 50 tabs of YouTube open right now in my browser, because I'm going and making copies of all of these red, blue 3D glasses, either movie trailers or videos. And I'm going to edit together this epic 2-minute intro to my presentation in actual 3D for everyone. So
if everybody's wondering how you actually would make money by speaking, it would be the way that Greg does it, except Greg doesn't get paid.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun though. I mean, I don't technically get paid, but I got to go to Bali in December. I got to go to,
I'm totally messing with you,
Munich. I'm going to the beach in Spain for a conference in June. I'm going to Oktoberfest for a conference in September. And I am now going to Thailand for a conference in November. So
nice.
I mean, it does kind of work out pretty well.
Yes, it does. I'm jelly when it comes to Bali and Thailand. Those are the places I want to go to.
Steven, nice. To answer your question in the chat, I've already done 26,500 miles this year.
Yeah,
of flying.
Just a little bit. Nothing big.
Yeah.
So some quick shout outs. Steven, hey, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Let's see who else we got here. Donna, I don't think we haven't seen Donna in a long time actually here. Hey Donna, how's it going? Wendy, hey, how's it going? Who's Wendy Moon? Jan, what's up, buddy? Let's see. Yeah, we're kind of light on audience today. That's okay. It's awesome.
No, just a little bit of people. It's still pretty solid.
Oh, it is still pretty. Yeah, of course it's solid. I mean, we'll probably get up to like 40 before the end.
Yep.
So, all right.
So we got to start with news.
Well, wait. What?
Are we not there yet?
1 second. Little bit of housekeeping, just really quickly. So we've got about 8, maybe 10 questions to go through today. A little bit of news, not that much. So please, everybody, go ahead, put your questions into the Q&A widget. If you would like to be roasted, if you would like your GBP roasted or a competitor roasted, hashtag GBP roast, throw it in the Q&A. We'll happily do this. If you want a website audited, fine, throw it in there too. If you just have questions in general, I don't know, just go ahead, throw them into the Q&A. We've got 2 in there right now. We'll give you an update in about 15, 20 minutes. Let's get the number up to about 10. Let's do it. All right. Yeah, I guess we should do the news. Let's do it. Okay, fine.
Let's do it. Boom.
All right. Beep. All right, fine. Well, the first thing that we have in the news is that you may have heard this before. You may or may not care about this piece of news. And that is that reviews will be going away for schools. That's pretty much it. No more reviews officially for schools.
We do not know yet, though, specifically which schools will be affected. We kind of know some stuff that we're not allowed to talk about yet because we're under NDA. But from what has been publicly released so far, this is likely not to affect preschools or colleges or universities.
Right. And then the reviews, of course, that will be gone, will actually be gone, like deleted, gone. So they won't show up on your user feed or anything like that.
And you won't have the option to leave new reviews either.
Yeah, until somebody figures that out.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of gone, there was a really, really, really bad glitch this week. And you know what the thing is like everybody is so down on posts, right? So yeah, obviously we're talking about posts, everybody. Everybody's so down on posts. They're like, oh, posts are moved to the bottom. Oh, posts don't get traction. Yeah, right. I have lawyers that pull out $60,000 to $100,000 worth of cases from posts. But anyway, just saying. I'm sure you have probably the same experience on the auto side and all that, right?
The reason that people think posts suck is because most people don't know how to do them the right way.
Exactly. More on that another day. So, but yeah, so everybody kind of like, I don't know, there was a little bit of a earthquake here. Posts basically were, I don't know, gone. You did a post and it just didn't show up. Oops. Well, that's being addressed. It's being fixed. Actually, I think wasn't it fixed? Then it went away again, like
Yeah,
yesterday.
so they disappeared approximately Sunday or Monday, maybe as early as late Saturday, but like it's just been a week and they disappeared, but you still had the ability to create them,
Yeah.
which made most of us think it was most likely a bug and not a permanent change, because if they were getting rid of them, they would get rid of the interface to add them as well. But then they
Right.
came back like late Wednesday, early Thursday morning, and then by yesterday night they were gone again. So
Yeah.
whatever fix they tried to roll out clearly didn't work.
I think there's just some intern over there, and they're just like, okay, we're moving shit around on the fucking on the. Hey, what's up, Max? On the knowledge panel, and some interns like, you know what? Backslash hide.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just yeah, they're just like kill the code.
Yep.
They're there to dissuade everybody and just kind of get ahead of this. Yeah, posts are not going anywhere. Okay, guys, gals, they're just not. Q&A, on the other hand,
Gone.
it's pretty much gone. I don't think it's not been confirmed, but
But it's gone.
I'm gonna say it's gone.
Which sucks because my presentation at SMX Munich was about how to use the content from your Q&A and your reviews to make your website content better. And literally after I gave this presentation, and so many people were like, dude, that's amazing. I can't wait to go home and do this when I get back to work next week. And literally the next week, Q&A.
The only thing I could say about this is, I mean, Q&A is great and all that. I don't actually know how many people really used it, but based on experience, whenever they kill a feature of Google Business Profiles, they always replace it with something. Always.
Yep.
And I guess you could say that there's some really cool shit probably coming up.
Well, Mike posted something about it, or what? Geez, that was like last fall. Mike Blumenthal put a post up saying they have this new Ask Maps AI powered feature, and he's like, I bet they're going to get rid of Q&A and they're going to replace it with this. Now, we don't know if that's really going to happen or not.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm not behind that, because that's more of a
Right.
search feature.
Right, but I still think that, like, I don't agree with him, but I think he's on the right track. Like, they're getting rid of it and they're going to replace it with
Something.
most likely some AI feature that will function in a similar fashion.
Or hey, wouldn't it be fucking awesome if posts were actually moved back up on the knowledge panel?
Hell yeah, it would be real awesome.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it'd be awesome for those few of us that know how to use them the right way anyway.
Well, yeah, I'm making a prediction, basically, I guess you could say. No, not you could say. I am. I'm making a prediction. I do not know this, by the way. This is not like something that's super secret that we learned from Google or anything like that. I think that posts are going to be moved up on the knowledge panel where Q&A was.
Yeah.
That's what
that
I
would
think.
Make sense.
Yes.
That would make a lot of sense.
So, yeah. I remember, what was it? Gosh, was it 2 years ago? I think, when we first met the verification team and all that. Yeah, it was it was in London, actually. And yeah, and we argued. Well, I wouldn't say argued. I would say lobbied the guy who's actually the product manager for posts. And you said, dude, test it. Posts suck at the bottom. Move them to the top. Test it. Maybe it's happening.
We'll see.
Yes, we will. And so, talking about things that are interesting, let's talk about this. I mean, you had
talk about the thing I found.
You had a really interesting conversation with Joy on the first, right?
Yeah. So, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, there's a link to it. Most of us that run agencies have research going on all the time. We're always testing things. We're trying to tweak things. We're trying to figure out, hey, if we tweak this little dial here, is it going to make a difference? And some of the things that we try usually can be really outrageous because you never know, right? And so we were like, you know what? What if we try putting something in the meta keywords tag? And sure, it's been gone for more than a decade, but what if something works?
Yeah,
and crazy
right.
enough, it massively works in the map pack. Like ridiculously black hat levels of works in the map pack.
I mean, we're rolling this out for all of our clients. We have.
Yeah, and so I talked to Joy about it, and Joy tested it, and it was to a crazy degree. Like, if you watch the video that I just shared the link to, the client that Joy tested it with is a plumber in Toronto. And we showed, we used Places Scout for our grid search, you know, the little grid, you know, how do you rank on the grid in the map pack in these locations. So she did a grid map pack track for this plumber client in Dallas, Texas, even though this guy's in a different freaking country, searching for used cars Dallas. Clearly it was all red. It didn't show up. She added used cars, comma, Dallas in the meta keywords for this guy. And the next day he ranked #1 in the map pack in every single thing. It went from all red to all green overnight. For a business that's completely unrelated in a different country, ranking #1 everywhere. It was utterly unbelievable. We both tested it multiple times.
And it can be replicated.
Video out to let people know about it.
It can be replicated, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, we both did it multiple times. You can go check out the video. Like, everybody should go look at the video and watch it.
Everybody needs to go watch this. I'm just sorry. This is like the biggest news in local in a very, very, very long time.
It's
have you named this as far as like the update?
We did. Oh God, what did we call it? Oh, we called it the McFly update.
McFly update, nice.
It's keywords coming back to the future from where they were no longer working in the past. So we called it the McFly update.
Update.
It's pretty nuts. And I'm really surprised we're not getting more comments in the chat or questions in the Q&A about this, because
I know
you guys not realize how groundbreaking this is.
It's literally the.
I mean, Max says that we have his
20
attention,
years.
You missed it. Were you not listening to what we've been talking about for the last 5 minutes?
No. What? We already put the link in there.
Here's the link again.
Jeez, yeah.
Yeah, like, this is crazy stuff. You guys should check it out.
This is like, if you're not paying attention to this, you are actually doing a disservice to your customers, and you should fire yourself.
Pretty much.
You know.
Or, speaking of paying attention, you may want to check the published date of that video. That's all I'm saying.
You mean April 1st?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. All right, I'll just go ahead and say it was April Fool's. It was an April Fool's joke. Okay.
You should go watch the video, though. Joy did show up on the video. Like, Joy, I had Joy kind of guest star on my weekly video to make it look a little bit more real. Now, we did not actually say in the video that it was an April Fool's joke. I thought it would be pretty obvious because A, published on April Fool's Day. B, like, for real, is a plumber in Toronto going to be able to rank used cars in Dallas in the map pack? Absolutely not. But the crazy thing is, so many people believed it. We had 4 different clients that we work with call their consultant and say, hey, are we doing this new thing with meta keywords so that we can show up in the map pack? And our consultants are like, bro, it was April Fool's Day. And they're all like, oh. I've had multiple other people reach out to me on Twitter and Blue Sky and Facebook and email and go, dude, we're not quite sure. Like, we're 90% sure it's April Fool's, but 10% think it might be real because Joy was on the video with you. And I'm like, that's the whole reason I did it, to make it even more obvious that it was a joke. Like, how do people not get it? Even to the point of last week on Twitter, I don't really go on Twitter anymore because of obvious reasons. But I'll check it like once a week. I won't delete it because I don't want somebody else to take my handle. But I'll check it like once a week because I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything important, because some people still message me there. And I had a guy that owns an agency that I don't know who he is send me some stuff saying I am being reprehensible in the industry because I'm a voice and I'm spreading misinformation. And he's still, and this is last week, so this is 3 weeks later. He's still getting calls from his clients asking him if they're implementing this change, and they don't believe him when he says it's a joke. So he's telling me that it is my responsibility as a leading voice in SEO to go post a overlay across the video to say this is an April Fool's joke. And he was like, this was incredibly poorly implemented. And I came back and my only response was, so you mean it was incredibly well implemented that people believed it when it was so obviously fake? Like, come on.
I mean, it's April freaking Fools, right? Okay.
It honestly did go off better than I thought, because I thought for sure everybody would know it was a joke. And the fact that people really bought it makes it even funnier.
Oh, it was great. And no, that's freaking awesome, dude. So, all right. I don't think we really have any other news.
That's pretty much it for the news.
Yeah. Okay. And quick update. We've got 5 in the Q&A. Come on. Let's get 5 more. You guys have to have some GPPs you want to get roasted audited, actually. Or something. But hey, let's get it up there. All right. Anyway, thank you, Greg. We really appreciate you, especially on April Fool.
So with that, it is time to get to our pre-submitted questions.
Yes.
And the first one we don't have assigned, so we'll just give it to you. It is from Natalie Gallagher, who is here today. So thank you, Natalie, for showing up.
Hello, Natalie.
Hear the answer to your question live. Natalie's question is about Google verification. And her question states, number 1, phone number verification, the code won't go through.
We thank you for telling us.
I'm not sure what part. Natalie, is there more for that? Or are you just saying, hey, look, we don't know what to do because the code won't go through? If you can clarify in the chat, I'm going to move on to the second part of the question. And while Ben's answering that, if you could give us clarification if you need it. Then, number 2, overnight, 19 of her clients' 22 listings had their verification taken away, which, okay. Natalie, can you let us know, does that mean they were suspended or they're just being asked to re-verify?
Then she says, asked just to get verified. But anyway,
Google did not provide any reasoning for this. How do you diagnose it?
Yeah. So number 1, Google's never going to provide your reasoning for anything. Okay. That's really what it is. They're not very transparent, I should say, about this kind of stuff as to why. It seems to me that the verification team has really stepped up a notch, because verification is kind of broken all over the place right now. Just my personal issues with verification, right? What we see with our clients. Verifying new locations is a fucking nightmare. It really is, right? It's horrible. News, they added the ability to preview your verification video. Basically, that's actually new as of like 2 weeks ago-ish. And so you can preview it now before you upload it, which is kind of handy. You still can't share it with anybody, though. The emails that you get telling you why you didn't pass verification are still spotty at best, and they still don't mention the name of the location. Anyway, to your question, 19 of your 22 clients, of their listings basically have gone back into verification. This usually just means that Google is questioning the validity of those locations. So therefore, you need to re-verify. Also, if you have made any kind of recent edits or changes or anything like that to your Google business profile, that can force re-verification as well. So it's kind of I hate to say it, it depends. Oh, wow. Vocational schools.
I was expecting it to, like, 50% chance it was going to be like locksmiths or something.
I was thinking personal injury.
or something.
Wow.
Okay. So
they added one secondary category.
You edited a secondary category on one profile or on the 19 that are now being asked to re-verify?
It's probably on the 19. That's my assumption.
Or maybe on all 22 and just 19 of them got the re-verification.
Right. Anytime you make it,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay, that's what it was then.
That's exactly what it was. Okay, yeah, so it was an edit. So anyway, that's the reasoning, is you made a change. When you're changing categories or adding, this sounds like a change. Google's kind of like, did you just like all of a sudden change your business model? And okay, well, what was the category? Yeah, right.
I'm trying to let you talk and get. I know you're about to ask for it.
You know, I appreciate you, Greg.
You can tell we've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah, just not. Oh God, what are we on 3 years or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, what was the category? Natalie. Okay. Let's see. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, we do see that. And just in general, adding categories can trigger the re-verification. Also, we've seen it happen when this, not from stuff we've done, but from when clients have gone in and made changes because they think that they know better, which like I will never understand why a client is paying an agency to handle their SEO and their GBP, yet they'll still log in and make changes themselves.
Oh, of course they will.
But they will always go in because honestly, car dealers like to try to add things in and put a square peg in a round hole. Like, for example, they'll put that they do appraisals because they appraise the value of your trade-in when you trade in your car, but an appraisal service is a totally different thing than a car dealership. So when you add a completely unrelated category, then that's going to make Google go, hey, wait a minute, no. So,
you know, we should go over the old adage. The old adage of categories is it's who you are, not what you do. Okay? If you think about that with categories, you know, you might have a Pizza Hut that has ice cream, right?
You wouldn't put ice cream shop.
But you don't put ice cream shop.
Yep.
It's intensely idiotic to do so, really. You just don't do it because somebody's actually looking for like a Baskin Robbins probably, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
I know I would. But so who you are, not what you do. So by adding that secondary category, you're confusing Google, and Google's going, wait a minute. We thought we knew who you are. You're saying you changed. Yeah, you need to get re-verified.
Yep.
Otherwise, we don't trust you. That's all there is to it. And that's basically what they're saying, by the way. No personal offense meant, but that is exactly what they're saying. The secondary portion of her question is no phone tree. You kept requesting the code gets sent to a client phone number. The phone call never comes. Do text.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of doesn't matter, by the way, because like even if you are getting the phone or even email verification, sometimes it just doesn't work. I mean, I've got clients who are going through huge problems right now with bulk. I don't know if you're seeing this or not.
We don't really do bulk verification. Yeah. You
don't? Okay. We do a lot of them. So, and in duress categories, of course, right? But what we're seeing is like with bulk verification, it's like, man, verification is off the rails. It really is. You'll add a location one day, it'll be totally fine. And the next day, video verification required. Or phone verification or email verification, video verification required still. It's insane. It's crazy. Anyway, Google's maybe, possibly going to work on it. We'll see. All right. This one is for you, Body. Okay. This one comes from Stuart. I don't know.
Oh, well, then that gives me 2 in a row because we have the other ones assigned. Why don't we just do you again?
Oh yeah, never
The
mind.
next
That's
ones are
fine.
assigned. We got screwed up
Okay,
because
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
one
Okay,
came
go,
in.
go ahead, go.
Okay, so this one is from Stuart, who is not here today. But Stuart, hopefully you're listening on the replay and you're feeling a lot of FOMO that you weren't here to catch your answer live. But Stuart has
Exactly.
a question about Google Business Profiles. He has a service business listing that is over a decade old. I would guess it is some sort of lawn service since the email address has lawn in it. Back then, we were using street addresses on the listing, but now it's service areas only. The listing ranks #1 in the map pack for most major search terms. I want to remove the address. Is that safe?
No. Anytime you move, again, it's kind of like I think we're gonna have a recurring theme on this show, by the way. Uh, Anytime you move, now again, you are telling Google, "Hey, I've changed the way my business operates." Right? So by hiding the address, you're saying I'm no longer a storefront, but I'm still here. You're probably going to get suspended. That's what's going to happen. However, that being said, you are a lawn mowing service. You don't have people coming to your home at all, ever. So you go to them, right? So therefore, you should be a service area based business. Um, but if people aren't showing up at your house, I mean, kind of if it ain't broke, we don't fix it.
I
But
mean,
then again, if you're a legitimate business and you have nothing to worry about and you've got all your documentation, yes, I would switch it. Also, no, you will lose ranking, like a lot of ranking. But again, it's okay because that is actually what your business model is, where you go to people. So, what you got to say, bro?
no, yeah, like just be prepared to get suspended and make sure you have your documentation together. I would say a big portion of the threads that I help on the forum are people that are failing their reinstatement request
Hmm.
because they're sending in pictures of their business cards and not understanding why that doesn't count for documentation. Or there was one the other day that someone emailed me directly because it was a car dealership thing, and a lot of car dealership people don't necessarily know about the forum, but they know that I help there in some capacity, and so I'll get these emails, and they emailed and they were like, "Hey, we got suspended and we failed our reinstatement request, and they didn't tell us why. Can you help?" And I was like, sure. Did you do a video? And they're like, yeah, we had to send in a verification video. I'm like, can you send me a copy? And they're like, sure. And it starts pointing down at the concrete in the parking lot and goes literally, like, let me hold my phone so people can see. It goes this fast across the front of the building.
Yep.
So technically the sign was in the video, but you can't read the sign at all. And so they missed the two most important things. They're not showing street signs or surrounding buildings to prove location, and they're not showing permanent signage. Boom, you fail. Then it was a 3-minute long video, and over 2 minutes of the video was them just walking around inside the building. Like they go in a side door instead of the front door so that they can show that they unlock it, which, okay, maybe. But then they go immediately up some stairs and just start walking down hallways and going into conference rooms. But
Yep.
like nobody's really in the dealership, so that doesn't prove that you're not a customer just doing it. But then they come downstairs through the service area, waiting area, like lounge thing, and show a bunch of customers' faces in the video. So it's like a bunch of no-nos, and people don't realize you can't do these things. So
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, I watched one the other day, and man, yeah. Let's just put it this way: the video ends in a office which is blank, nothing in the office, no desk, nothing, literally. But they have their lease on the floor.
nice. Oh, I had
At
one
least
the
they
other
showed the
day.
lease.
As long as we're telling fun campfire stories, I had one, I think, Tuesday, and they were like, also an email, and they were like, hey, I saw you on the forum. This is some not car dealer person, but they're like, I saw you on the forum. I thought I would just email you, blah, 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 blah. And to me, I'm like, well, how'd you get my email? But anyway,
Right.
they're like, we
Stalker.
got
Stalker
suspended. Here's a screen capture of the email when we got suspended. It doesn't really tell us anything, so we're not sure what to do. But we went through and we, like they like took some categories off of their I don't remember what it was, but they did some things to their business profile, and they were like, so we took off these categories and we changed the hours, and we did whatever. We did all these things, and we still failed the reinstatement request, and now we can't request reinstatement again because they've used up all their chances. You go back and you look at the screen capture of the email that he sent me, and the reason for suspension says Google account in poor standing. And I'm like, and I responded back and I go, did you read that? And they were like, what about it? I'm like, Google account in poor standing means one of the managers or owners did something against the rules and got in trouble, so you got suspended for that. It has nothing to do with your profile. You can edit your profile all day long. You're not going to get back in until you get rid of this guy. And they were like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like, oh,
right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yep.
Maybe try to look a little bit more into what's going on, or ask somebody before you just go in and start trying to bang out your reinstatement request.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, I had somebody the other day. God, this was actually yesterday. So as everybody knows, we deal with a metric ton of reinstatement requests, right? Or reinstatement work. And I had a client yesterday, smart people, really smart. However, and I hear this unfortunately too often, they said, our client has been suspended for the last 2 years. We've tried to get it reinstated 10 times. And I'm like, so I'm like thinking to myself, I'm going, I've got so many questions at this point.
Right.
I was like, that's not how the appeal process works. You cannot request reinstatement 10 times. It just doesn't exist. I was like, you only have a couple shots, right? It's just a few. I don't care if it's a year or 2 years. And he's like, no, we've got the emails. We've got the case IDs. I was like, you've got the case IDs, plural. Oh, in other words, you've just been reaching out to support.
Yeah.
Which can't help you. They're like, no, we did it multiple times. I'm like, okay, I'll find out. Thanks. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But anyway, yes. I mean, the processes that Google has are convoluted.
Yeah.
And definitely not clear at all.
Okay, we got to keep moving. So, we're not even through our pre-submitted questions, and we've got stuff from our old friend anonymous attendee, so we should get going.
All right, let's move, go. Oh yeah, cool, dude. We got 10 into the Q&A. Nice. Goal reached. Excellent. Yeah, you want to go to Q&A? Actually, no. Let's ask everybody. Should we go Q&A, or should we go with the remaining 3 questions we have?
4 questions.
Audience, go. QA.
Keep in mind, if we finish these 4, we can bang through them quickly and then get to Q&A, and then we will have stuff ready for 2 weeks from now.
Yep.
Q&A.
All right, I think the 4 has it, man.
Yep, let's do it. And we'll go fast, though.
Oh, yeah. We're going to burn through these. Okay, ready? Done.
Yep.
Okay. So this one comes from Michelle. Michelle is asking you, Greg. Oh, God. All right. Anyway, there's a link to a review, by the way. We think these reviews seem a little suspicious. We reported them 2 weeks ago. Just would like your thoughts.
There is a Michelle here. Is the Michelle that's here the Michelle that submitted this question?
It's a good question. I don't know. And they just linked to the profile. Groundworks. Okay,
this is Groundworks, which is a waterproofing service. They have a 5.0 rating with 81 reviews. What's suspicious about them?
I see nothing suspicious about these.
I'm seeing actual photos submitted on some of these from people, local guides that have left 100 reviews. Luis is her coworker, but she had to leave real quick. So of course she left right when we're answering her question live. I hope she has FOMO.
Of course, of
A lot of
course.
reviews
Okay.
mention this one person that isn't on their employee page. Okay,
That's
that
not
does
an
not make them
indicator.
suspicious because we don't know that their employee page is something that they keep up to date. I am scrolling through these. I see nothing here that mentions anything. It's got the guy's first and last name fairly
So
often.
what?
That is a little odd because usually people don't remember first and last name, but it could be that this guy, Ron, is asking people to include his name because maybe they're getting some sort of a spiff to their sales team or their techs if their names get mentioned with the 5-star review, because a lot of service businesses do that.
Yeah.
But none of these look suspicious. These all look completely legitimate.
Yeah. And if it's velocity that you're concerned about, like all of a sudden they have all these reviews, well, they probably just did a campaign. But
I mean,
yeah,
a lot of these came in a month ago, but I don't see anything shady here at all.
Yep. Okay. All right.
All right, cool. Next question then. This is from Sun. Is Sun here?
Hi, son.
Sun's not here. Oh, wow. She wants to unsubscribe from all of our activity, but there is no unsubscribe link on any of our messages. Please remove her email address from all information.
Yeah. So, son, there is actually an unsubscribe feature at the bottom of the email address. So asking a question is not the way to get unsubscribed.
Yeah. Okay. Boom.
I just had to
let's do. We'll skip ahead a little bit since that wasn't really a real question, and we'll ask you this other one. This one is from Mike McClellan, who is not here. So, Mike, hopefully you're hearing this on the replay. Mike's customers' Google reviews that they write for him are not showing up in his business profile. He is finding that the reviews his customers leave for him are not showing up. They send him screenshots of the reviews that they wrote, but they are not showing in his GBP. How do I address this with Google? It seems they have pretty much disabled the communication methods I used to be able to use. Ooh, can I use a sound effect?
Do it.
Ah!
Get to the chopper!
No, actually, no. That's not the proper answer to this one. The proper answer to this one is great. You've got screenshots. Very good. You're probably not being filtered. These are user issues more than anything else. Or you are actually being filtered. That's possible. Either way, you're not going to get an answer to that last part, which is, are you filtered? But you can and should reach out to support, select missing reviews as your chip. Give them the screenshots. Do not use flowery language. If you write this paragraph and send it to Google support, they will delete you, period. Just say, I have reviews that are showing up on my customers' contributions, but not showing up on my Google business profile attached to the screenshots. Please restore the reviews. Done. End of story. Send that to support. Support will then say, yep, you're right. They're gone. Sorry. Bad activity, yada, 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 yada. Or they'll say, hey, they're restored. One of the two. Pretty much that's going to be your recourse. Coming to the forums with this one, you need to reach out to support first. The forums, we're not going to be able to help.
If support doesn't help and doesn't give you an answer, then you can
get to the chopper.
Sorry, I just really want to use a sound effect.
I know. Don't worry about it. You'll have more than enough opportunity. But anyway, yeah, reach out to support first, and then you can head to the chopper, which is go to the community. And maybe we'll be able to tell you something. This one's for you, Greg, from Lewis. Is Lewis here?
Yeah.
All right. So, new account, Google Business Listing Re-Verify. Okay. The question is, hi, we have a new account we're using for some of our clients and making edits such as adding categories and updating the number and causing re-verifications to be required. Is this associated with new accounts or just a random coinkydinky?
No, yeah. Luis, this is the stuff we were talking about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, whatever. It's just literally you go change things like that. You're probably going to be asked to re-verify. Has nothing to do with the account that you're using. It's just that you're making changes to the business and Google wants to know what's going on.
Yep.
Boom.
All right.
And so now that we finished that, it's time to come on down with the live questions. The actual sound for that is actually 1 minute and 3 seconds long, and I cut it off after like 5 seconds. Like a minute of that is a really long time.
Really, 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 really do appreciate that. Actually, Greg, thank you so much.
So it is.
This one's for no. I'm taking it, man. This one's for you. Okay.
Oh,
it's for
because,
you. Yeah. Of course. And this is, of course, from our friend.
Anonymous attendee. Thank you so much for coming back. We've missed you.
Yes. Oh, dude, I totally forgot to tell you. My sister's opening up a t-shirt store soon, right?
Sweet.
But you know what I told her, of course.
Ass hat and anonymous.
You got it. She's going to roll out the ass hat and the anonymous attendee just for us.
Awesome.
Okay. Anyway. All right. So everybody, that's news. You will be able to buy an ass hat or an anonymous attendee t-shirt hat soon. Yes. I think the ass hat's going to sell out. Just saying.
I don't know, man. I'm psyched for the anonymous attendee shirt.
Dude, I want an ass hat. I'm just saying. I do. I mean,
yeah,
I just do. Anyway. All right. Okay, fine. Anonymous attendee. So, Greg, for an auto dealership profile with nested department listing, i.e. service and parts, what needs to be done to trigger the service department hours to appear as auto repair shop when indicating whether it's open and the closing time? This feature appears under hours, does not require a user to click more hours to see when the service department is open or closed. Currently, we are seeing just more hours options listed if you click see opening and closed for department listings.
Unfortunately, whoever asked this is asking anonymous, and we can't really ask for clarification in chat. I am not aware of it operating like you're asking. It has always been that you have to click more hours to see the additional hours for the other departments. So if you have seen it some other way, maybe it was some sort of limited test and you saw a test, but the way that it has always functioned and still functions to this day is that you have to click more hours to see the additional hours for the other departments.
Okay.
Boom. First question down. Second question, also from anonymous attendee, which may or may not be the same anonymous attendee.
May not.
This one says, and Mary Reed has the same issue, so this must be a good one.
Okay.
When requesting access to businesses through the agency dashboard, large chunks immediately show as obsolete. I see that a lot of people are having this issue in the forum. Are there any updates?
No. I wasn't aware of this, actually. I am.
I haven't seen this either.
I'll look for it, though, tonight.
But for sure, Mary has the same issue. So, Mary, we can ask you, is Mary still here?
Yep, she's been seeing it through most of April.
I have not seen it in ours. Ben hasn't seen it in his.
I don't make a lot of requests, though.
Do what?
We don't make a lot of requests for access through there.
We've and Aaron is having it too. Yeah, I am not aware of this. Have any Mary, Aaron, Anonymous, have y'all contacted support about it and asked them?
That's the first step. They may. Well, actually, no. They would understand that issue. They would understand that issue. Actually,
I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm going to say: is cue it up, buddy. Is that yes? So
I should use the sound effect.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Cue it up. Exactly. Yes. So with this one, reach out to support first, then open up a thread on the community if they can't help. And with this one, I'm going to say either ping Greg or I. Absolutely, when you've made a thread, because you know what? Hey, if we got 3 people out of 40 that have this issue, you know what? No, don't pop it here, please. No. Yeah. Leave it. Do it on Twitter or Blue Sky. We're not keeping track of this. So anyway, yeah, and you need to reach out to support before you actually go to the support forum. By the way, just so you know, that's the proper process. Otherwise, we're going to tell you to go support. You have to have a case ID. Anyway, but yeah, go ahead and let us know, and please do report this because yeah, we can bring it up to everybody else.
Yeah, it's definitely some sort of bug.
Yeah, it sounds like it. All right, dude. Man, an anonymous attendee wants you to roast a GPP.
Okay, should we put it to the crowd? Do you guys want to do a roast considering we only have 9 minutes left? Or would you like to save it for next time? So
we have 9 questions to go.
Yeah, we got other questions that we can do for the remainder. So everybody's saying roast. But here's the thing. We won't be able to have time to fully roast because you got to figure it's going to be 1.5 to 2 minutes of us just looking into it. We won't have a lot of time to really dive in.
We can roast. Come on, speed roast.
You want to do it?
Everybody wants. Yeah, the group is.
Everybody wants it. Well, Aaron wants to save it, but everybody else wants to go.
All right, we're roasting.
Okay.
Speed roast.
And this one's from Anonymous.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's one of these. I'm very, very familiar with this brand.
I don't even know what this is.
Oh, my God.
I'll let you go for it then.
Oh, no. I already know the business is out. This business is out of compliance 100%. I already know it. They're all over the country. They actually don't have physical presences. They oh God, they literally will rent a tarp space inside of a garage.
Yeah, this one is showing up as being, if you click on the website button, it shows as being located in an aluminum plant.
Yeah, exactly. And they have located in an ample storage center on the GPP. Oh, God. Yeah, these guys are not great. Anyway, I'm very, very familiar with these guys. Like I said, it's like, yeah, I've seen these forever. Unfortunately, this is not actually, it's a real business, but they're not really supposed to have a GPP in the first place. Because they're not there. They have service centers that do the work, actually. So
I love how their only 2 categories are safety equipment supplier and car accessories store.
Oh, good dude. I love this one. 7 months ago from Mary Hardison. Very sorry, people. It is great, though. 1 star. And they replied with thank you. Okay. Another one from Adam Bell. It is great. The company itself is crooked. Yeah.
Adam needs to. I was going to be mean about
I'm not going to even bother roasting this one because it's not really a great business. So sorry. Anyway.
Not the fun roast we were expecting, guys.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, hold on. This is mine. Should businesses like this not have listing? Competitors basically do the same thing. Natalie, the fact of the matter is these guys have been gaming the system for a pretty long time. They've been reported so many times to Google. I'm surprised they're still existing at this point. This is how I'm familiar with them because I've seen them get reported so many times. And basically the rule is that if you don't actually have somebody there and you don't have somebody actually doing the service from your company, you can't have a Google business profile. And just because you have a desk with a tarp with your signage, that does not make for a Google business profile. Their business is legit, meaning that they, when somebody gets arrested, they have to go to somebody like Intoxlock or whatever. to go ahead and get a DUI device installed, but they're not actually doing the installation. All they do is they send the referral over to an auto agency. That's it. So it's just like a lawyer doing a referral service. Also not allowed, by the way. Anyway, that's my
if
rant.
competitors are doing the same thing, just go report the competitors instead of also trying to cheat.
Yep. Redressal form. Do it. Okay, cool. Let's see. What do we got here, buddy? Okay, we have 5 minutes. And the next one is, let's see. We already answered that one.
Is it my turn or your turn?
I think it's your turn. I don't know, dude.
Like,
but this one's good. This one's good for you anyway, by the way. All right. And what are some tips to create a successful GBP post?
Oh, that's a good one. Geez, there's so much, but honestly, there's so much stuff out there. You're going to hear conflicting information too, because what I tell you the best thing to do is not what Joy tells you the best thing to do is. And it doesn't mean that either one of us is right or wrong. It just means that for the clients that we work with, which typically don't overlap, you get better results for one type or another. So there is no universal do this for everybody, because offer posts work really well for some businesses. Update posts work well for other businesses. The thing that I have found that most people will agree on is it's not which post template you use or what you offer in the post or what you put in the post. It's, is the thumbnail of the post enticing enough to get clicked on? Because Google will automatically crop to a smaller version of your image, and you can't control that crop. And it crops slightly higher than vertical center, which makes no sense, but they still haven't updated it. So we have problems with car dealers, and like, I don't have a car handy. Here's a car. So we'll have a car dealer, and they're showing a picture of a car, but the car's at like an angle and it's coming, but then like it crops off like half of the car. So you only see the top edge of the car because they're not paying attention to what the crop looks like. So pay attention to what gets cropped out. A lot of people will put, specials in there, sales events. And if half of the text telling you what the sales event is cropped off in the image, it's not enticing. A lot of research has been done that shows if you use real images and not stock images, you're going to get up to 5 times more click-throughs in your posts. Also pay attention to what's written underneath. In the update post, you get 4 lines of text. But come on, we're all doing marketing. You want to have a call to action there. Once you add in the call to action, that removes the bottom line, so you only get 3 lines of text to write something. Now, you can't tell exactly what's in the 3 lines because it's a narrower width and it just automatically kind of truncates the text. So pay attention. A lot of people will put some marketing fluff at the beginning, like recipe sites, and the real important kicker is too far down to actually show up in the thumbnail, so nobody clicks on it. So make sure that what shows in the thumbnail between a really enticing image and something that really tells them why it's important to click and learn more is showing in that thumbnail, and that's the best way to be successful. We're pretty much going to be out of time here in a second. I could talk about this for like half an hour. If you haven't watched it yet, I did a Whiteboard Friday for Moz like 2.5, 3 years ago. It's still very valid. There's not really anything that's changed. It's 13.5 minutes of me going really fast, sharing densely packed info about how to be successful with posts. So if you go look that up, I don't know what the URL is off the top of my head, but just go look for, Greg Gifford Whiteboard Friday, and it will pop up and you can watch that. Also, I have a post template doc. Vamp for a minute. I'll figure out what this URL is, and I can share it with everybody here.
What's funny is I did one of those, gosh, man, back when posts first came out. It's still relevant to this very day. It's amazing, actually. While Greg is looking that up, I will also tell you one other thing is pay attention to your first line. Really pay attention to it. Preview it. Check it out. There's a very specific certain number of characters that will make one line actually that shows. And that's going to be basically your headline in a sense. That's going to be what pulls people into the post in the first place. So make sure you really, really pay attention to that first line. I forget how many characters it is. I want to say 25, but
it's actually not characters because it's width, because you have fewer W's fit in the space than lowercase i's would fit in the space.
Well, yeah, I know.
But yeah,
I mean,
I just shared a link
to that.
I just shared a link in the chat to download the guide. It is a Photoshop document. If you don't have Photoshop, you can still open it up in Canva and do the same thing. But the guide basically has a grid in white. Anything within that grid is considered to be safe and will show in your thumbnail. Anything outside of it may or may not show or won't show. It's also super inconsistent. We've loaded the same image in 5 times in a row and get 5 different crops, like slightly different crops. Yeah. So check that out for sure. Also, if you watch the Whiteboard Friday, I've got the link in there, and there's a lot of stuff there. But also, don't treat it like social media. That's the biggest mistake most people make, is they just share bullshit social fluff like they would put on Twitter or Facebook. That's not what Google Posts are for. Treat it like an ad. It's an ad that shows for free on your profile. That's how you should be treating it. It should be something promotional. It should be something enticing that people will get something out of clicking on it. Don't share blog posts. Like, people don't care about that. That's not what it's for.
Keep talking.
We're at time. Oh, you're copying stuff.
Yeah.
What else? What do I? Because we did this massive. We talked about it in the past. The massive GBP research project. The biggest problems we saw with posts were, number one, people treating it like social media. Number two, people not paying attention to their thumbnail image. Number three, people not paying attention to thumbnail text. Number four, people sharing, because we work with a lot of car dealers. We see a lot of like what we call delivery photos of like, here's a happy customer next to their new car with a bow on it. That doesn't even really work on social media, even though dealers keep doing it. But for sure, people don't care that you just sold a truck to Susie. That's not an effective Google post, so don't do that. Also, as you're doing Google posts, make sure that you're using UTMs on all of the links that point to whichever landing page you're sending people on your site. If you don't, you either see that traffic as direct traffic in Google Analytics if they were on mobile, or if they're on desktop, it's just going to say direct because they're not passing information into Google Analytics. Maybe it might say organic, but if you just put that the source is GBP or business profile or whatever you want, make sure that the medium is organic with a lowercase o so that it matches all of the other channels that are automatically in Google Analytics. Make sure you also use a campaign variable, so UTM campaign equals. It doesn't matter what you put there, but if you do posts on a weekly basis or even more often than that, at the end of the month, you're going to want to assess the success of those posts. And if you're not using that campaign variable, you can't assume that all of the clicks that came in on a certain day came in from the post that was published that day, because people may be clicking on the post from the day before or the week before, and you're not going to know. So to really be successful with posts, you need to test what you're doing, figure out what works, and do more of the stuff that works in the future. And you've got to have good data to be able to do that, which means you got to use UTMs.
Yep. Damn right. Excellent. We are at time, my friend.
Really quick, to answer Maria's question that she asked in chat, no, don't just post pictures. Think of it like it's an offer. It is an ad. Put something promotionally focused. We're going to get this special. You're going to get a better deal with us. Hey, come by today, whatever it would be. It needs to be something like an ad. Think of it like you're writing a display ad or an AdWords ad. Anyway,
exactly.
There we go.
So awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for showing up today. And thank you so much for the ones who have us in your ear.
Yes.
Greg, welcome back, my friend.
So nice
to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. We've all missed you. I can speak for everybody on that one. And so looking forward to burning out the rest of this year and having fun doing this stuff. So everybody, we will see you in about 2 weeks. Again,
especially if you asked a question today we didn't get to, make sure you come back next week, because those are the questions or 2 weeks from now. Those are the questions we're starting with next time.
Yes. Tell your friends, tell your family. They all want to hear this. And they all want to see your questions being answered, of course.
Exactly.
Yes. Anyway, everybody have a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a great Easter weekend last weekend. And Greg, see you soon, buddy.
Thanks, everybody.